and welcome to Teaching Natural. My name's Dare. I'm a 7th-year high school English teacher in SoCal or Southern California, and this video is all about building your digital teaching portfolio so that you stand out as a candidate, you get the interview, and you get that teaching position. To start off, a digital teaching portfolio is just what it sounds like. It's a collection of your experience as a teacher, as well as some exemplars from your practice, your education, and your qualifications to have the position. I like to keep my digital portfolio in Google Drive. It's just a separate folder under my professional email. And then I change the share settings so that anyone can view it. I include that link in any teaching application that I send out so that the hiring committee can take a look at what I'm like as a teacher. So let's talk about the things that should be included in your digital portfolio. The first thing you want to include in your digital portfolio is your resume or your curriculum vitae. Obviously, in an application, you're already going to include these things, but it is just nice for the hiring committee or admin to have it all in one place as they're looking through what you've supplied. After your resume or curriculum vitae, you then want to have your teaching credential. If you are a student in the credential program right now, you want to have a letter from your school saying that you are currently in the program and you are expected to graduate on this date, and then you will be applying for your credential. Once you get the notice that your school has applied for the credential for you, you want to then download that as a PDF and include that in lieu of your teaching credential until you get your actual teaching credential, and then just update it once you get your credential. After having your credential, I like to have a folder that has all of my certificates or anything else that I have been qualified or trained to teach. This is anything like IB, a TESOL certificate, AP certificates. If you teach CTE or any other specialty course and you've been trained for that specialty course, like ERWC, you want to include those certificates or certifications in your folder. You also want to include any awards that you've won for your teaching practice or awards that you've won that are related to your teaching practice if you are coming from a different job field. After that, I then have a folder for letters of recommendation. I would recommend that you have 3 letters of recommendation, always dated within a 12-month period to a 2-year period. Most California schools want to see 3 letters of recommendation, again, within a 2 to 3 year period, but 1 year is really nice because it just shows that you are continuously updating your practice. With your letters of recommendation, one should be from your admin. So think your principal, your vice principal, or anybody who supervises your practice and can speak on who you are as an employee. The next letter of recommendation you want to have is from a colleague/coworker so that they can show what kind of coworker you are. Do you work well with others? Do you collaborate well? After that, your third letter of recommendation can be from whomever can speak on your practice. If you are in a master's program or a PhD, I would suggest having a letter of recommendation from your chair committee or whoever has been your advisor so that they can speak on whatever you are preparing in your master's program. If you are a student in the teaching credential program, I would recommend having something from your professor or from your mentor teacher to show, again, how you are in the classroom or how you are to work with. After your letters of recommendation, I would recommend that you have a video, about 7 to 10 minutes of you teaching in your classroom. In my video, it is 7 minutes. It's filmed from the back, so you cannot see any student faces, but you can hear my students' voices. You can see them participating. You can see me guiding them through the lesson. It's really great to have a short video so that your hiring committee can envision what you are like in the classroom, and they get to see a live demonstration of you using some of these strategies that you would talk about in your interview. After a video, I would recommend having a sample lesson plan that's about 3 days to a week. Those lesson plans will let them see what kind of planner you are, how prepared you are, as well as do you understand your standards? Do you understand any additional requirements such as IB or AP, or insert any special programs that school might be looking for? They can see that you know how to incorporate it into your lesson plan. With your lesson plan, you want to include any appendices like whatever text they're using or whatever instructions you give students, any visual aids, graphic organizers, anything like that that students are going to use or that you're going to use. You want to include that so that, again, with that lesson plan, they can get a full view of who you are as a teacher. If you've already taught this lesson and you have student samples, I would suggest including a student sample, obviously redact any identifying information so that they can see how you give feedback with students or what that learning objective, the outcome of it looks like, the assessment of it looks like for you as a teacher. Again, anything that helps them visualize what it is like to be a student in your classroom or to be the administrator who is supervising you or be the parent or guardian who is working with you, that's going to help you stand out. In addition to samples of your teaching practice, you want to have your teaching documents. These are going to be your classroom procedures, policies, and your personal philosophy of education. All of these things that you gather are going to be questions on an interview. I've never had an interview that hasn't asked me at least 2 to 3 of the things that I'm going to break down and also going to show you when it comes to myself. The first thing in your teaching documents is going to be your philosophy of education, who you are as an educator. What do you believe the purpose of education is? How does that view fit into the school or the school district that you are applying to? Take a minute to look at mine now. In your teaching philosophy or who you are as an educator, if you have done research, which most of us have in the credential program or our master's or thesis or a PhD program, include any researchers who have influenced who you are as a teacher or any researchers that you use to base your classroom policies and procedures on. Obviously, you aren't going to do a whole long, drawn out diatribe of it, but you can see in my teaching philosophy, there were just some bullet points of research that I've done and educators who have influenced who I am as a teacher. This again shows your preparedness for the discipline as well as your ability to research and stay current on educational practice and theory. Because as a teacher, as an educator, we are always learning. We are never finished. After your teaching philosophy, you want to jot down just a few ways that you have routines of practice in your classroom. So take a look at mine now. These routines are really important and they are the basis foundation of your classroom management. You are always going to get a question about how you manage behavior in your classroom or how you manage the expectations and how students know those expectations in order to be successful. So, jotting down a few quick things of what you do so that admin can see what a day in your class is like, supplemented with the video and where they see you implementing these policies and procedures, that's going to go a long way to them envisioning you as a teacher at their school. After you talk about classroom routines, you want to talk about behavior management. What do you do when students are not on track or on task? How do you help them get there? Take a moment to look at what I do now. After that, I've always gotten a question about how I include parents or guardians in my classroom or how I include student community in my classroom. And so take a look at some of the things I do to inform parents and guardians and include them in my classroom now. Okay, so those are the main things that you want to include within your teaching portfolio, as well as an example of my teaching portfolio. Obviously, the things that I can share that don't give away identifying information. I've included a link to the documents that I have worked through that I've just shown you. So feel free to go to the description, download that, and work on your own teaching portfolio. Then let me know. Do you already have a digital portfolio? Is your portfolio physical and now you're trying to make it digital? Was this something you had ever heard of before? And hopefully, all this information was helpful and that you get that new job that you are working on. In the meantime and in between time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.